It's game day, and we are looking at the last game of the first round, the Premier League between Fulham and Chelsea. Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining us at Chidi Asa Takes. Today, we're going to take a look at the game between Fulham and Chelsea. And actually, I'm going to build my preferred lineup for this game based on what we've seen the preseason games and every single player that's available for this game. Now, we know the Premiership started just on Saturday, and we saw how we got Arsenal, showing everybody that they are the champions of English Premier League for the last season, and they look really good. Okay. And then on Saturday, we saw Hull City absolutely demolish Manchester United by 3 goals to 0. The highlight of the games were today between Manchester City and Bournemouth, which ended 2-1 in favor of Manchester City. You could have seen the face of Enzo Maresca because he was delighted after that win. He came on the 91st minute, I believe, which was like maybe 1 or 2 minutes before the end of the game. But Manchester City went ahead to have the victory, so they got 3 points. And in the other games, we saw Brighton completely destroy Aston Villa by 4 goals to 0. Aston Villa picking up a red card, but even before the red card, the game was already gone. Okay, I'm talking about Brighton was in total control. And we also saw the last game today between Newcastle and Liverpool. It was a homecoming for Isak. Of course, you could see the fans were not really impressed, and they kept on booing him at every single time he touched the ball, which I don't understand. He has helped our club in a way, but I understand also that he kind of pushed his way out of the club. However, they should appreciate what he has done for them. I think he was there when they picked up a trophy after what, several years or decades. So that should be something they should be looking at instead of just booing him. But the game ended 2-2. It was a last minute penalty. Lewis Hall tripping on the attacker, and I thought it was clumsy. And of course, VR stepped in and they had to give it a penalty. So that game ended 2-2. Now, today we have the big and final game and week one or round one. It's going to be between Fulham and Chelsea. And I am going to be building my first 11 or my preferred startup 11 for this game live with you right here on air. And if you're not yet following this channel, please do us a favor and subscribe right now so that we can, build a bigger community. Okay. And much appreciated. All right. Now, when we talk about the lineup, we know that Chelsea has, of course, gone ahead to signed several players, some of them who have experience, some of them older, like Jordan Henderson, and the lad from Brighton. But obviously, we know some of them are not going to be starting, or all of them are not going to be starting. However, we want to take a look at those who are going to be starting the game. And for today, let's look at the goalkeepers. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and choose Robert Sanchez because I don't see anybody else in that team right now as a goalkeeper that is taking over Robert Sanchez spot because he of course has been very, very good. Not the best. Okay, he's not like a David Raya of Arsenal who is absolutely killing it. But we have somebody, Robert Sanchez, who I think because of him, Chelsea was able to get some points from last season. But at the same time, I know you say, hey, but Chidi, because of him, we lost a lot of games. I understand he makes some careless mistakes, but right now, he is the number one goalkeeper. He is the best we have. I don't see anybody taking that spot. Okay. Now, because Javi Alonso prefers a 3-4-3 formation with, three attackers always heading up, and then you see kind of the wing backs who keep going up and down. We've added some players, okay, in Marks in Maxime Lacroix, but not just Lacroix. We've added players in terms of Palestra and let me see who else, even Barco and Pep Chavaria. But right now, we're going to talk about the back three because I think that's going to be a backbone. And last season, we had a lot of issues with our defensive lineup. Talk about Badia Shield. I think he's gone on loan now. Badia Shield, Tosin, Tosin, Fofana picking up injuries and silly red cards. Howe had this long um, injury time, so he didn't really do much for Chelsea. But right now, we have gone ahead to get some players. Okay, so in that back three, I'm gonna go with our captain Reece James because I don't see with this formation, Reece James he can play that last three in the line, in the back three right there because he's very experienced. He's probably, one of the most experienced players we have right now in the squad. Think about that. Chris James is one of the most experienced players we have in the squad right now. Talk about the Champions League, international appearance. Honestly, it's amazing. So I'm gonna put him right there in the back three with Reece James, Maxime Lacroix, who we signed recently. And of course, the last person I'm gonna have is Colwill. Colwill, he last season he had a lot of injury, and because of that, he played only, excuse me, a few games. And right now, he's come back, and I think right now that his comeback is gonna help us very very well. Okay, now talk about the next side right now, which is the right wing back. I think Pedro Neto is very, very good in that spot. He can run. Okay. We see him do this during the we see him doing this during the preseason. He looked very effective in that role. All right. Even Malo Gusto came in and did the same thing. Now the likes of Quenda, he also did very well, but Pedro Neto looks like he's got more experience, and we facing a Fulham side, which I think they are very good. Okay, forget the fact that they have a new coach in Abeloa, but I think, um, honestly, I think they are equally as good, and it's not going to be an easy game. Okay, so I'm going to leave Pedro Neto right there. Now for the left wing back, I'm gonna keep it with Marco Palestra. This guy is a beast. We saw him running up and down during the preseason. He looked very, very fit and fast and strong. So this is somebody who came in, and it looks like we are going to, he's gonna be very, very good for Chelsea. Okay, he's gonna be very, very good for Chelsea. That role since Cucurella left, I think he is somebody who I'm looking at that he's probably going to do even better. He's much like they say he's like the Alonso that we used to have before playing that left back. It was Alonso playing that left back and Reece James playing the right back, and it used to be one of the best times that we had. So I think we should be expecting a lot from this particular guy. Now let's move into the midfield. We had Jordan coming in. We had who else? Barco, Valentin Barco. But for the midfield right now, honestly, with this Chelsea squad, I don't see anybody taking these two guys. But as long as ever Enzo Fernandez stays in Chelsea, he is definitely going to be somebody that is going to do a lot of good. We saw him do this in the World Cup. We saw him do this last season. He was one of the best players of of Chelsea's worst season, but he was a standout player. Okay, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him now. For the front three, we signed Morgan Rogers. We've signed who else did we sign? We have a Mega coming in. We have uh the Martin Quenda coming in. But right now, when it comes to the front three, I don't see anybody else who can do better than these three guys who I'm gonna pick because they have shown us that they can get goals, but they also have some kind of combination or understanding. So for my front three, I'm gonna go ahead with Jao Pedro, Cole Palmer, and of course Morgan Rogers. Now the question is Morgan Rogers fit? Because he even Enzo Fernandez, both of them. Now these two guys, they were at the World Cup, and they were some of those guys that came in late. Even Rhys James. So, we're looking at these four guys, and in terms of Rogers, Fernandez, Lacroix, and James, They came in late, okay, along with even Neto. But Neto had some time to rest, okay, before he came for the preseason. So in any situation whereby the coach decides not to start Morgan Rogers, I'm looking at a situation where he might start Jamie Gittins. Okay, we could see that. We could see Jamie Gittins starting. All right, but I don't see that happening. Okay, however, this is my preferred 11, whereby we have none other than, like I said, the three front three attackers who I think on paper and it should be on ground, these guys should be able to get us at least 15 goals each. That's a pretty good, goal contribution. Jao Pedro, I'm hoping that he's going to get at least 20 to 25 goals this season. Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer, if both of them can add 15 goals each this season, hey, that is exceptional. That is very, very good. And we know goals are going to come from other places like Enzo Fernandez if he stays and Chelsea does not sell him. Caicedo maybe, Pedro Neto, but we don't know. But this is my lineup. What do you think about this lineup? And is there any other body that you think uh, can change? We know 3-4-3 most likely is going to be the formation. We could see sometimes where we have a back four. Okay, we have a back four and three in the midfield and three in the attack, or even a 4-3-2-1. We just don't know. We know that Enzo Alonso is going to try different formations just to make sure he matches the team strength, and either when we are attacking or when we are defending. But that's it right now. I hope Chelsea wins this game, and my prediction is a convincing 3-1 win. Chelsea taking the 3 points at the game. So let me know what you thought. And finally, if you've not subscribed to our channel, do us a favor and subscribe. Okay, hit the bell so you can always be reminded whenever we have any new footage. Okay, for now, thanks and up the Chelsea.